Last time I timed how long I brushed my teeth, I brushed them for like 6 minutes because I have no time awareness. I am completely time blind. And yeah. What was I saying? ADHD things. Hello, you beautiful people. David here, or Sin City Yeti, or just Yeti, whichever you prefer. And today's going to be a little bit different because I need some relaxing art. It has been stressful, just life, world events. Ugh. I need something that's a little bit more relaxing. I mean, painting is relaxing for me, but I need something different relaxing. You know, just something that can be a little bit mindless, but still uses my mind in a different way so I don't burn myself out. And you know what I haven't done in a while? It's been almost a year since I've worked on this book. In fact, the last time I worked on this book, I wasn't even posting on YouTube yet. I was only posting on Instagram with TikTok, but we don't talk about her. But it's been so long. I've had this book forever and I haven't done anything with it. Paula, I'm so sorry. I love this book and I want to finish it. So today, we are going to work on some of the pages. I have no idea how many I'm going to get done. I'm shooting for 3. I think like 3 a video, like if it's like any kind of book, is a good goal. You know, if I only get 2 done, at least I still have some variety. And if I get more done, then I was on a roll. So we're going to shoot for 3 pages. You might be wondering though, coloring book, you're just going to be doing a coloring book? Yes, I'm going to be doing a coloring book because I'm going to be doing something special with it. So I figure last time I did one of these, all of the pages were themed around glitter. I kind of liked that, doing a theme. How many did I get done last time? Where's my book? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pages. I got 4 pages done. Maybe that's what I should shoot for this time again. But like I worked in Loved last time. I need to show some love to It's the Little Things. So yeah. And I think I'm gonna do more gluing. So I guess I'll be painting with glue because I do apply glue with a paintbrush, but it's not painting. It's not painting, okay? It's not painting. We're gonna avoid painting. But I'm gonna do some paper craft pages. So I guess that means enough of my face. Let's go see what I can create.
And here we are, ready to craft. I had to set up my ambiance and get the paper and the markers and the Mod Podge. Okay, it's the little things. I'm not sure why I sang there, but yeah, anyways, we're here for me to craft. So I started this book almost a year ago, got the first page done, and then I did this one. I used acrylic paint. I really like how it came out. And then I did this paper craft page. And I want to do this again. I used to do my books like this all the time when I was a teenager, and I was kind of getting that itch and figure, yeah, let's do that. I'm going to go pick up my page. I got a couple marked, and how I'm going to start this off is I'm going to trace the entire thing onto a separate page because I have to cut out pieces of paper for this, make sure that the right size and they're going to all fit together nicely. I don't want to cut up the original page, so I'm tracing it out so I can mess up this page, cut it up if I need to, trace over it, which is what I'm going to do, and I'll show you why I'm going to trace over it. But yeah, so now we got to pick out my paper. I really like that holographic, got all of these different papers, and as you can see, like I try to save everything as much as possible. And then I got, oh, look at these. I didn't realize these were with the paper. This was from an old college project over 10 years ago where I had to turn a song into a piece of art. I really like that. So anyways, picking out my patterns, trying to figure out what's going to go nicely together on this page. I want it to flow really nicely, be all cohesive kind of thing. So yeah, getting the different colors like mountains, plants, the sky. And I got this like book filled with fun pages and looking at all the different blues, but I really like this blue.
Hey, what smells like blue?
The little white pieces kind of look like clouds to me, so I wanted some of them in the piece I'm going to cut out, but not too many. So traced over the papers to leave a mark, and then I used an X-Acto knife to cut it all out, and I'm just gonna kind of do that with just different blues, putting them all together, almost like a blue rainbow. And I gotta find this last blue. I'm seeing a bunch of different blues, and I wanted to avoid using the tissue paper because I don't really like cutting tissue paper. You have to do multiple layers, otherwise it can bunch up really easily. So I had to fold it up to cut out like one shape, but I did it anyways. It was the right kind of blue. And yeah, so finding all sorts of different colors. I wanted to go with the sun, got this like nice burnt orange yellow color. I like the way that the paper pattern looked on the paper. Yeah. I don't know why that confused my brain a little bit, but it totally did. So anyways, I got to cut out all these little pieces. It looks so tedious when I'm watching it back right here. Like, I'm just looking at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this just looks like so much work. But in the moment, it's like so relaxing. I'm just like not thinking about it. The pattern for the pictures already made for me. I'm just picking out the colors and then cutting them out and then placing it all together, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. It just touches my brain in the right spots to help me unwind and relax. And I kind of miss this. I haven't done this in so long. I used to do it all the time. I've made so many different kinds of paper crafts throughout my years. I even have some planned for the future that are a little bit different than this, but I will get there when I get there. You guys will have to wait for that video. So anyways, going back to like everything I'm picking out, this is the only part, like if I went back and changed anything, I would probably change up some of the greens that I picked. In like the moment when I was like looking at them all next to each other, they looked really nice and I liked the patterns together. Afterwards, when I got everything together, not so much, but I mean, I don't hate it. It's just kind of, I think there were better greens that I could have used. Like, especially these flowers that I'm cutting out right now. Like, I really liked the green, but unfortunately the flower that I end up going with, I feel like just doesn't have enough contrast to it. It's just one of those things, the artist being picky, because we see all of the mistakes that we made where most likely anybody else looking at the piece of art isn't going to notice it, and we're just being silly and hating on ourselves. But that's the artist way. Going back in with these flowers, I do, however, like these flowers on the right. I think they came out really well. They have really good contrast between each other, and that's kind of what I should have gone with, but meh. And you can see like all these little past projects that I cut on the papers. Like, yes, that is a shape of Mario cut out. I did that for a totally separate like art project many years ago. Most of this paper I've gotten from friends who just like had hordes of it, and they're like, I'm just gonna throw this away and you're an artist, here you go. And I accept it gladly because I will find something to use it for. I collect paper for paper crafts like this, and I think it's kind of fun, and I can create fun little things like this, and it's a different, unique way of coloring a coloring book. It just makes me happy.
I'm collecting them because they're simple and beautiful and because they make me happy.
So now what I'm doing, I'm putting chunks together, and so that when I glue it into the page, it's all supposed to be where it's going to be. Like once I cover parts of the page, I can't see it anymore, and I want to still be able to see it to make sure that I'm putting things in the correct place. Like with the sun, that was a little bit harder because the page is completely like opaque. I can't see through it, and I have to kind of like guess by moving the paper where exactly it's gonna go. That's why I'm so close to like the sun, trying to get the face exactly where it needs to be. But as you see, once like you got all of that together, so much of it's covered, but it's coming out so nicely. It's looking so cohesive and nice. And yeah, see? So you could probably see the flowers on the left. They're the main things I would have changed. I don't hate them, but I would have added more contrast. But everything else, love this page. Mwah, chef's kiss.
These hills sing.
Now we all got to ooh and ah at it. This page just makes me so happy. The sun, the mountains, the plants. I love it. Absolutely perfect warm up. So now we got to find another page. Now I like this page, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get to it. So I wanted to like save it just in case I can't get to it, but I like it and I kind of want to do it. I also like the birds, but I think this is going to be the page we go with next. It's just, you know, kind of still in that warm up phase, getting back into something I haven't really done. Also seeing like maybe there's another page I want to do, but I decide, nope, this is the page. I want to stick with this one. So I go ahead and do the whole tracing process all over again. And then after I get the tracing process done, I need to pick out which kind of paper I'm going to use. So I really love this holographic paper, and I think it would be really cool if you look at the original page. There's like these cool swirly patterns that my brain is interpreting as wind, and I think to kind of represent those patterns again, because I'm going to cover them up, I could use this holographic paper. I thought that'd be kind of cool, and then I got to find all the other colors, and then oh look, it's a Valentine's Day card I gave to my husband like 10 years ago. That's so corny. But I do keep these kinds of things because like the picture on the left, totally could use that for something. But anyways, we're not here for that. We're here for art. So I figured the best way to go about this is just to kind of like do almost the entire page in this holographic. That way it can sit underneath, and that's what I really wanted to go for. And next is the sky. So this is kind of what I was envisioning with the sky. I didn't want to cut out all the little swirls of holographic because they're not going to stay together. It's going to be a lot harder to put the pattern on in its place. I just figure I would rather it sit completely underneath and have the sky page sitting above it. So when you're looking at it, the holographic is going to be shining from behind, and that's what I really, really wanted. It just was a little precise with the cutting to make sure, one, that this entire page doesn't just come apart, that it stays whole and intact. So I had to do some pieces as pieces, but there was still one, there was no getting around it. It was going to separate completely anyways. So here I am gluing the whole thing to the holographic, and I'm still not at the point yet where I figured out the Mod Podge isn't going to stick to this holographic, but I'm gonna get there. As you see, it's like curling up while it dries. That's cool. Anyways, going back to the art. Traced out the clouds, getting these clouds done. I think they're gonna be a nice little touch. I like the pattern on the paperwork, and I felt it was very appropriate for the sky, especially with the blue that I used. Yeah, paper and wood, I felt like were just good patterns. Still haven't quite figured out that the sky isn't sticking. It was still a little too wet, but next, going for the rest of the parts of this picture, I went with like this cardboard pattern for the mountain. I thought that was a nice little touch. And then I used like this glitter paper for the snow because snow glistens. I felt like it would look like snow. So got that all done. And now we're doing the little bunny. I did the bunny in this gold. It was actually for the envelope from that Valentine's Day card. I really liked the gold and felt it was a good touch for the bunny and all of its little pieces. Got to make sure like there's some extra elements to it to really like show off that bunny, and I wanted it to really give off Creative Paula's style. I felt like since I'm using her coloring book, I still want, when you look at it, want it to feel like it's Creative Paula's work. And that's where I kind of started discovering like, this isn't really sticking. It's starting to come up, but I don't do too much about it anyways.
Oh well, doesn't matter.
But yeah, so here we go. I absolutely love this page. I just think I should have found a better way of scuffing up or getting the holographic paper to stick, because it doesn't even want to stick to this like Amazon paper. It still wants to come up, but I love the page regardless. And at least I got a picture of it so I could see it as it is intact. And now we got to go to the next page. So this page, I think this one is a lot of fun. I really love the little birdies. They look so happy, friendly, like I could hear them in the tree. And so this really got my brain going. And I was struggling for a little bit of like what exactly I wanted to do. And then I found this. So this page is a copy of Fragonard's work, The Swing. And I had already actually used the woman in the swing for a card that I did. Like I had placed her on the card kicking her shoe off and it was hitting somebody in the head. Anyways, like I kept the rest of it because I still thought like the picture and the image on it was still usable for something else. I just didn't know what I was going to use it for yet until I got to this page. And I felt like the rest of the garden worked so well for what I needed behind this tree.
Oh, I have to admit, there's a certain genius to it.
So I'm cutting out different elements of it, and I'm like trying to be a little precise with like cutting out some of the plants because I still want it to feel like the painting itself. And yeah, it was difficult. There were a couple periods where I thought I was gonna accidentally cut my hand, and I was trying so hard to watch my fingers. I am very accident prone, if you haven't been able to guess by some of my intros. And this is like going way back in my life. I have injured myself in some of the most asinine ways, and my friends are just used to it because I am very accident prone. So I was trying super hard here to not cut my hands, but I did it. I'm very proud of myself. It looks good, and it's gonna be a perfect background for this tree. And now I'm cutting out the tree. Again, doing that whole like, when I'm tracing it from the copy paper, I'm pushing hard enough that it's gonna leave indentations on the back side of the page so that I can outline it and then cut it out with the X-Acto knife for the exact shape that I need. And then for like the actual tree part. So I really liked the pattern on the paper that I used for the clouds. And I decided to go over with a wash of green. I literally just took like a super watered down green and kind of washed over it. So the pattern of the page was still shining through. And I love that. I thought that was perfect for the tree. It kind of just gave off this unique pattern, and the blues in it and the dark greens. Now I felt tied in with the back of the tree a little bit better. And then I had this idea of like, ooh, maybe I can add some cherry blossoms. So I started cutting out like chunks of cherry blossoms from this page that I could keep together. The image gave me some issues just because like it's an image on top of an image. So there were flower blossoms that were cut off in weird spots. I didn't like how that looked, but then I was thinking like, maybe this is looking a little too wonky at this point, but maybe I can add in some more. So then I started using some more elements from the Fragonard painting, cutting out different like aspects of the trees and putting them all together. And I put it off to the side to just kind of like sit with this idea. Like, do I actually like this? And it was a perfect opportunity to also start like cutting out these birds. So I'm going in with like a two-tone bird with like a yellow body, black wings, kind of realistic patterns, but as close as I can get to realistic using patterned paper, if you know what I mean. Anyways, yeah. So now I put the first one together just to see if I really liked it, and I did. So then I just started cutting them all out, tracing them all, getting their little features all cut out. So as you can see, like all the little teardrops for the little birdies, placing them in their spots so I don't forget which bird goes where. That's something I do tend to do when I do this. Don't want to do that again.
I don't like it. It's too much responsibility.
So I'm putting them in their little spots to make sure I know which one's which. And I start putting them all together. So I cut out the little black pieces for their wings. I got their little beaks cut out. Those were a little bit harder just because the beaks are so tiny. And I was actually losing the beaks because like they're so small. It's hard to differentiate which is the beak and which is just scrap paper. So that was an issue all in itself, but I ended up overcoming it. Cut out their eyes, got everything all glued together. It was just kind of like this assembly process thing, and got them all done, keeping them in the positions that they are for the tree. So again, I don't confuse any of them. And as you can see, like I needed to use the tweezers here just because some of the spots were like too small. You can see like I'm struggling here with this cutter just because like the paper doesn't like when you're cutting it in super small like that. So I started actually like grabbing just scraps of the yellow that I was using with tweezers, holding them with tweezers, and then just like kind of cutting out the shape of the tweezer with the scissors. Then used the Mod Podge, got them all stuck together. All the little tiny beaks, they're attached. The birds can tweet to each other. They're not gonna look weird like beakless birds. I don't want to do that to them. And now we got to finish up like the last little parts. So I got to clean up my little station. Yes, I did absolutely use a paintbrush. A broom. I used it like a little broom. But now it gave me a clean workstation so I can start working on these birdhouses. There's two different kinds. We have one that's sitting on the actual branch, one that's hanging from the branch with a little bit of like hearts on a string as well. So I'm cutting out these little pieces. Got to make sure like they're also a part of this. I want to again keep all of Paula's style together. I want it to be recognizable as her coloring book, just in a completely new way. So now I'm going to use this like red polka dot paper for the little hearts as they're hanging down. I saw like each little dot is like the same size as a heart. So it just made it like really easy to like trace over the hearts and then cut them out with just regular scissors. I didn't need to use it. I am freaking Donnie right now because I got so tongue-tied and lost my place. Goodness. Anyways, going to this little like string of hearts, cutting them out, getting each heart within the circle as best as possible. And then I'm using scissors to cut them out because again, like the X-Acto knife just is not liking these really small pieces of paper. The paper wants to tear with it. I don't want to tear it. So yeah, getting everything placed exactly where it's supposed to go. And I also got to like really try to make sure this is all sitting in the exact places that I need it. So I have both the book and the sketch next to me, testing everything out, making sure it's exactly where it needs to go. This took me quite a while, but like I was in this zone and just kind of like placing everything down. Again, this is like a paper puzzle that I'm making for myself, and it's just a lot of fun. And look, I think this is super cute. It all kind of fit oddly well together. I like the way the birds look with their pattern. They sit very nicely on top of the tree. I did add in some like breakup of the tree using the Fragonard painting parts that I cut out. It doesn't look bad. I'm very happy with it. But I do have enough time for a fourth page, which means I can do this page. I was honestly not expecting to get 4 done, but I'm happy I did. So we're gonna get this kitty page done. I'm really liking this, and I have an idea. I kind of want to use this glitter paper. In my head, I was thinking of like glittery scoops of ice cream. So I decided I was gonna run with it. And then I wanted to use like as much glitter as possible. So then I had the bright idea that I'm gonna do every element of this page with glitter paper.
I told you we needed more glitter.
I started picking out all of the different colors that I needed, and unfortunately, there was one color I did not have. that I kind of needed for this. So I had to make it. So I did pull out some of my old glitter and I decided like I was just gonna apply Mod Podge on some of this copy paper and then I'm gonna put this glitter down, let it dry, and then I have homemade glitter paper in a color that I need because I'm going to be adding chocolate sauce to this, and chocolate is a very specific color and I can't exactly use orange. It is a more desaturated orange that's looking milky and I gotta add that, otherwise it's just not going to look right. It's going to look like caramel sauce, and it's not caramel sauce, it's chocolate sauce.
Sorry, kind of went off on a tangent there.
Got the tracing done, and I did think one element needed to not be glitter on this, which is of course like the background itself. I wanted the glitter to stand apart from this page. So I went in and I traced the complete background onto this black paper that I kind of felt like looked like wallpaper that you would expect to see in an ice cream parlor. Perfect. I really love this. So I went ahead, cut that out, got it set off to the side, and now I'm starting to cut out all the different elements of this actual kitty cat sundae. All I know is some of them look like they're melting and they don't look like they're very happy that they're melting, and I wouldn't want to eat this. I'd be afraid that they would meow at me, and that would kind of freak me out. But we're not here about what's going to freak me out if it was a sundae. We're here to try to get this done and make it look all super cute and nice. So I got all this done, and I want to tell you, like, there's this one element that kind of confused me. I didn't exactly know what it was. I thought it was like maybe the rim of the bowl, which is the banana. I cannot believe it took me forever to figure out what was sitting in the bowl first, and it's a banana. Once I figured it out, I felt like a complete doofus because it took me entirely too long to figure out, and that was not okay. Like, come on, David, you should know a banana.
That's what she said.
I did finally figure it out, and I figured gold was the perfect color for the banana. Now we're getting to a spot like, my goodness, I should have known this. Doing the mint chocolate chip, cutting out like my homemade glitter paper, cutting out the green for the mint, and you can't really see it on camera until I go really close. Glitter is getting everywhere, and I mean it is getting everywhere. I'm sure some of you saw the pages that I colored with glitter. That glitter I had contained. It was fine. It was in a spot that it needed to be in. The glitter paper does not work the same way as this glitter.
Oh, mother! Look at this gun! All over my...
First off, I did not realize I was gonna lose so much glitter. It got all over the carpet, all over my legs. Like, I had to shower before I could go to bed because I was gonna be going to bed with glitter and getting glitter all over the bed, and that's not okay. I do have a more intimate relationship with glitter because at a point in my life when I used to wear makeup, I would set the makeup with glitter. Extra fine glitter set makeup just fine. And I loved the look of it because if you had any flaws, the glitter hid the flaws. But that, like, another tangent I don't need to be going on. But anyways, like, you cannot be going to bed with that. It is very uncomfortable. It's very itchy. You are going to be super itchy in the middle of the night because you are covered in glitter. So I had to shower after working on this page. I cannot believe how much glitter got everywhere. It was a mess. But I still pushed through it because I wasn't going to stop. Like, I committed, I needed to get this done. I already cut too many elements of it to not go, to just stop right here. So I did change up some elements. Like, there was one page of glitter that I had that was way worse than the other pages. So I just kind of avoided that one altogether. And no, it actually was not the homemade glitter page that I used. I don't remember what color it was, and I don't want to go through my stuff right now. But anyways, like, yeah, one of the pages that I used was just like really, really bad. But I got everything together, did my little chunks, making sure everything's sitting together nicely, very well. Like, mint chocolate chip cat, got to get all of the different elements on, and I'm trying to like place each individual little chip in the right spot. All the different little, like, the cats are all sitting on top of each other, but some are behind and some are in front. So I just got to do them in the different sections, get the wallpaper all on there nicely, get the bowl, and then finally get all of these little kitty cats on there. And I'm thinking, like, as this is coming together, I'm like, oh my gosh, it actually looks like an ice cream sundae. This is super cute. I absolutely love this. And then finally, like, the last little touch that I needed to do that I needed to cut out was, of course, the stems to the cherries. So I got them all cut out using the green paper, but there was still something missing from them. Like, they just didn't look right without their faces. And I'm kind of like looking at this glitter paper, realizing it's not going to, as like I'm gluing on these chocolate chips is when I'm noticing, like, it is not the easiest to get things to stick onto the glitter paper, like gluing from the top of it. Underneath is fine, but I'm not going to be able to use the black. So to kind of like fix this, I just went ahead and grabbed my acrylic paint. I know I said there was no painting in this video. I am sorry, I still needed to get some painting done apparently. I didn't plan for this, but black acrylic paint sat on top of the glitter just fine. I didn't have to worry about it flaking off, and in fact, it's actually gonna hold some of this glitter down a little bit better, and I was okay with that. I used the picture that I had taken of the before page to get their little faces placed on, and it's so cute. It doesn't look out of place. I'm okay with that. But now that I got all 4 pages done, it's time for the review. So let's get going to this review. We are glad that you could make it to today's meeting. You're gonna say hi to all of them out there? They're your adoring fans. Okay, you want to go down? So, what do you all think? I thought I was only going to get 3 done. I'm so silly. I got 4 done. So, what do we think? I know I still did glitter. If you're going to do glitter, do not use glitter paper. It is far too messy. And I just could not find a way to keep it as clean as if I'm just using plain glitter. So I asked you, you like the glitter papers? Don't use it. Spend your money, get like an assortment of color of glitters. Ethically sourced and biodegradable glitter, preferably. Glitter paper ain't it. It's still cute. Look at all their little faces. And the little booty hole. This one's cute. I do love this one, but it's not my favorite. My first page. Don't know if this one's my favorite, but it's up there. I really do love the way this one came out. It's just so happy. It fills me with so much joy. It reminds me so much of Paper Mario. And it's so cute. Ah! I think this one might be my favorite just because there's a collage element to it as well. Oh, all the little birdies. I kind of want to cut these pages out. But I don't want to destroy Paula's book. But then I can hang it on the wall and look at it so much more. This is the page. I really love this one too. It's just so cute. Paper underneath, as you can see, it's not the easiest to stick to. I did score it up. I'm probably going to have to do a lot more if I do this or use thinner amounts. Like instead of maybe it being behind, actually laying it on top. But those are the pages. Which is your favorite? I'm very curious to know what your guys' favorite is going to be. The one that I thought was going to be my husband's, which was the kitties in the ice cream dish, was not his favorite. He really loves the bunny on the mountain. I'm really loving the birds in the tree. So which one's your favorite? I would love to know. Are you going to try any of the techniques that I used today? Paper crafting coloring pages has been something I have done since I was like a preteen. I loved doing it. Just any kind of like little scrap paper because I didn't like throwing paper away, especially pretty paper. I wanted to find uses for all of it. I still kind of do that. I have a drawer filled with it. So yeah, you going to give this a try? You'll have to let me know. Anyways, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Don't get lost. Don't get stolen. Bye, you beautiful people.
You guys were so cute for the video. Yeah, you guys were so cute for the video. Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat for being such a good boy? Yeah, you want your treat? Oh, yeah. You want me to let you down so you can go get your treats? You want to jump down or do you want me to let you help you down? Okay. I'll help you down. Alright. Say bye, Bag Stars. Say bye, Anis.